Okay, so if you're writing your deck class, you might be at a point where you're ready to write the deal method. And deal is going to take the top card off of the pile. I don't have my cards with me, but if you can imagine, you have a bunch of cards and you want to take the top card off of the pile and you want to give that to somebody and then you want to delete it from the deck that you had it in. And so, what you'd like to do, let's say that I've created this array list of cards called person one, and that's going to be person one's hand. You could even call it person one hand. And what I want to do is I want to take person one hand and I want to add a card from that standard deck. Now, here's the thing. I want that standard deck to change for all the people playing. So if I have like several players, and I'm just going to create another one here, person two hand. When I take a card off of that standard deck that I have, I want that deck to change when I deal to the next player also. So, maybe you write a little for loop that deals 5 cards to player one and 5 cards to player two. When those 5 cards are dealt to player one, I want that deck to change for player two so that those cards aren't back in the deck for player two. That's why it's static. So I'm going to go over to my deck class and I'm going to see that I have started this already, but I haven't written the code for it. So I put in some comments here. A deal takes the top card off the deck. It returns it to the caller. And then it removes that card from the whole deck for everybody. I want to change the deck for all the players when that's done. So I'm going to have a card. I'm going to call mine top one. And that's going to equal the very top card on the standard deck. So what I can do, because in my deck class, the name of my instance variable is my deck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get from my deck, I'm going to get the 0th card. So now I have that top card. The thing is that I want to remove that card and I also want to return that value to the user. Oh, notice how this is saying that it's underlining that, saying, wait, I don't know because this is static. That reminds me, this deck is actually static. So private, I have to change this now to static. If that deck of cards changes for one player, I want that deck of cards to change for all of the players so that none of them have the same hand when I start dealing things out. Okay, so I have the top card. Now I'm going to take my deck and I am going to remove the 0th card because I just dealt it. And then I'm just going to return that top one back to the user so they now have a card. So that is how I would write my deal method. So let's go back and let's just write a little for loop. Let's deal everybody 5 cards. So first I'm going to deal person one 5 cards. Then I'm going to deal person two. Notice how I'm calling on the deal method, not with the object, which is person one hand. I'm calling on it with the name of my deck, because that's the thing that I'm changing. I'm changing the standard deck. Now, I could also have called on it with the capital D deck one, but I'm not going to. And then let's see, I'll end that. And then I'm just going to print out both of their hands. So I'm going to do a system out print of println of person one hand, a little new line in there, and person two hand. And let's see. Let's see what everybody has in their hand. Should work. And now when I run it, oh, I forgot to take out those other ones, but person one, it looks like, well, actually, let me just take those out. We wrote those for the last program. So here I just shuffled my cards, and now I'm dealing, and I'm actually going to make this a little more person one. And then I'll print out their stuff. And person two, I'll print out their stuff. That'll look a little nicer. Person one has the 11 of spades, 13 of diamonds, and so on. Person two has totally different cards now. So they have 5 different cards. So that's how I wrote my deal method. So now that you have probably all of those methods, you can go ahead and write some kind of a card game. Good luck.